So, welcome everybody to episode 15 of 4NZGamers. My name's Phil Brooks. Captain Moverson over here is James Jennings. And we've also got Dave Watson. James is away, no one cares, moving on with the show. So, today we're going to do a little bit of a special. We're going to be talking about this bad boy here. Am I holding up the right one? Yes, I am. Metal Gear Solid 5. And perhaps we might talk about some of the other Metal Gears that have come and gone throughout the years.
Boom.
And, yeah, we've got some lovely little things on display here that James has provided. What are these? These are the...
So this is Metal Gear Rex.
Yep.
From the first Metal Gear.
The coolest one.
Yep, the coolest one. And then we've got Metal Gear Ray from Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
Nice.
And from the collector's edition of Metal Gear 5, The Phantom Pain, we have the boss's arm.
The boss's arm. Nice. Alright, so I guess we may as well kick straight into it. And I will ask you guys what you think of the game. So I know you enjoy it. So
let's go with you guys first.
Let's go with you guys
first.
Alright, Dave. Handing it over. What do you feel like? Because you've spent the least amount of time with the game.
Yeah, I've had it since it came out,
Yep.
pretty much.
On PC, is it?
On PC,
Yep.
yeah. I haven't had shitloads of time to play it, but when I take my time with it, and it's a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a really good Red Dead Redemption feel from the game, like, running around on your horse, shooting guys, and the stealth
Definitely,
stuff's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should say, obviously, spoiler alert, we're not gonna talk about the end of the game because none of us have beaten it yet, but we will talk about certain things, obviously, within the game up to the point that we've played. I was even going to ask you, do you mind if we talk about the things that we know about? It's nothing. I wouldn't talk about anything story related, but
As long as it's not story...
No, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not
there's nothing we
There's
can
nothing
really
for me in terms
spoil.
of story. There's not much there. So.
No, in terms of story, there's not a lot to spoil, I guess, and especially like I'm only 20-odd% in.
Yeah. Well, lots of the story apparently is in the cassette tapes you find, which I, to be honest, haven't even been listening to. I completely forgot about
I thought
them.
all the cassette tapes were just music.
No, there's heaps of story in them.
No, there's backstory and stuff.
See, this is actually, well, while we're here, let's get into it, because this is one of my complaints about the game, is I find it, I don't know what I'm doing a lot of the time. There are things that are sort of hidden within the game that are not explained to you, and I'm not saying I want to be like spoon-fed handheld through the game and have tutorials for every single aspect, which would actually be quite grueling for this game because it's huge and there are heaps of things to do. But I do feel like a little bit of guidance would have been nice. Like, I have no idea how to operate Mother Base. I'm still pretty freaking confused about it. And there's just been no help as to what I should be doing. And because it's a side thing as well, like, I don't spend a lot of time there. I'm spending most of my time in Afghanistan, so I'm not getting the opportunity to learn through play either. It's just every time I go there, I get confused. I'm like, where am I going?
In terms of what? Like,
well, for example, I get...
staff management and...
Yeah,
all
staff
that?
management. Like, I just did the auto-assign thing and let it do its thing. So I'm just like, there's like 100-odd staff. I've got like over 500 now. I'm just like, what? Do I individually choose these guys? Or
Yeah.
I'm not
You should. Because they've all got rankings. You should be assigning them to their different spots, and they've all got buffs. Like, they've got guys that, this guy might be a B in R&D, but he might also have like a C in medical, but then he'll have a skill that says sick bay, like he makes people get sick better, quicker.
Oh, right. So even though he's got a lesser attribute for medical, he's got a buff that you should put him in medical.
Yeah, that's what
So if I auto-assign him, that's going to take the B and put him in R&D.
Probably, yeah.
Ah, okay. I thought auto-assign would do the smartest thing.
It usually does, but for guys with particular buffs and skills, you kind of do want to look and go, oh yeah, he might be a bit better elsewhere.
Yeah, it does make sense, because auto-assign, I mean, they obviously don't want to do everything for you.
Yeah, well, that system, it's like you're saying, you don't have to do it. You can have the auto-assign thing, but some people would like to move things around. I haven't really... I kind of do the auto-assign, they kind of do wherever, but I like pick a star out of the group, and I was like, oh, I could use this guy elsewhere.
Yeah, right.
Or because of a specific attribute. Also, the higher level that you have on a certain thing will give you the ability to use a different weapon.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if I get level 26 here, I'll move that guy here, there. Oh, I unlocked it, now I can learn it. And then I can swap whatever.
Yeah.
I don't delve in it too much. I do like it, but I'm more concentrating on the game.
Yeah.
But they do give you the choice.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Do you,
it's the completionist in me that wants to do this aspect of the game that is there, but I just feel like it. like I don't have to. Maybe they've done a really good job of implementing something that you don't have to do, and for once I feel like I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself then like, I kind of do at the moment. I find myself going into the field and cherry picking soldiers with particular stats.
Yeah.
That's my, my.
And that's cool.
That's
yeah.
my, like pigeon hunting or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, this guy, like it says, this specialist is available from this mission if you find him. And that's what I hunt for. I hunt for the guys to get.
Yeah.
And then
And you can get the ability to scope in and see what their stats are.
Yeah.
You're right. So you've got that.
scan them.
Yeah. So that's good. I did that to start with, and I was handpicking guys. So I'd see like this guy's got an A. Great. Those guys. Okay. You guys are dead or not bothering.
Kill all the other guys.
I am faulting the hell out of there. But it got to the point where it's like I don't have enough guys at my base. I literally need to just start faulting everyone.
Yeah. That's a good point because I got really picky. And then I was like, it turned into a strategy for me because if I knock someone out, and because I'm playing with the no kill kind of, try not to kill anyone. That's just the style that I'm doing, and like I find if I'm tranquilizing someone or knocking them out, they'll wake up midway through my mission.
Yeah.
So now I'm just faulting them just to get them out of the way.
Yes.
And but what happens is, which is what is good when they go back to base, they either level up, but they automatically discharge the guys that are the weakest of the bunch. So every now and again they'll just get. They'll get fired. They automatically get dismissed.
I haven't got
so
that
your
one
weakest
yet.
guys they go away. They get fired. They didn't do that in Metal Gear Peace Walker. You had to individually go through everyone and pick them to fire them, which was fucking.
I've been
annoying.
going through the troublemakers and doing that.
Yeah. But
every 5 minutes it says, fight broke out. 3 guys in sickbay. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Because you keep getting the troublemakers.
Yeah.
But what's really cool because they had the creator base thing in Peace Walker.
Yeah.
Which is a PSP game. And it was really cool because it was exact same thing except you couldn't get onto you couldn't walk around the base.
Oh, okay.
But it was the kind of same idea on how to level up gear, and if you wanted to get better stuff, you just put the guys where you wanted. You faulted dudes out during missions. But now in Metal Gear 5, you actually walk along the base, and then you've also got the FOB, the online stuff.
I haven't been able to set up an FOB yet. They keep telling me about it.
What's a FOB?
A forward operating base.
I'm not up to that bit.
Yeah, well, it's only because I can do combat deployment, and when I try to deploy more than 2 units to go and do something, the third one it says you need to have a forward operating base in order to send out more people because you'd have more combat units, I guess.
Yeah.
And so that's where I keep getting the prompt telling me I need to do it, but I'm like, I don't know how to do it.
I don't think it comes up yet. I'm guessing because I haven't actually got that far yet, but I think it's unlocked through the campaign.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So it's just carrying on through. So when that happens, anyway, the forward operating bases are basically they're separate bases from the base that you're creating. But what happens is that you or being online, somebody can invade that base and steal your resources.
Is this the interactive base?
Oh, is that
not the mother base, but the
not the mother base?
base.
Yes, it's a forward operating base,
Okay.
which is separate from your base.
So that whole online thing where I can infiltrate your base and steal your shit. That's not mother base.
That's not mother base. That's a completely different one.
So why am I sending things back to mother base? Such as
because that's your main base. So
artillery. And
this
stuff.
is where you stockpile.
That's where you stockpile your stuff.
So it's just literally it's like storage.
Yeah.
And then I can use the stuff that I've stockpiled at mother base
because
to put to my forward
create
operating base.
you create what weapons you want to put in, the guys you want to send there.
Because I've got like 50 heavy machine guns and 50 mortars at my base. I'm just like, I'm at the point where I'm selling it because I need like another 20,000 GMP for this gun. And
oh yeah. So what is mother base seems unnecessarily big to me.
Yep, it's huge.
I want to go from one end to the other to do something, and it's just like it's such an effort. I mean, I know you can jump, and it took me a while to figure it out.
But you can get airlifted between spots.
Well, there's that, but you can also
even that's long.
You can hop onto the delivery thing and hop inside a cardboard box, and the cardboard box will transport you to the next delivery point.
Oh, is that what those are for?
See, he told me, and
I've
didn't
been
know.
finding them in Afghanistan, going taking the piece of paper or whatever, and it's like delivery point pop up, and then I was
That's basically the fast travel. See, I haven't even found any of those yet. I haven't in the world of Afghanistan.
Well, yeah,
because
because
found a single one.
they're not labelled or anything. You just got to look at it and go, oh.
Because my biggest complaint about the game is that there's no fast travel system, but there kind of is. You just need to find it, unlock it, and then use the cardboard box.
Because when I'm stuck in Afghanistan and I want to do all the side ops in one go, instead of having to get airlifted up into the air and then go through all that shit again,
yeah,
I can just do box delivery. Up the
Apparently,
map.
but you can only do box delivery to the points that you've found those delivery
I think I've
access.
only found like 3.
Yeah, so if you haven't found them, you haven't unlocked them.
Oh, okay. Learning shit here.
Yeah, I know.
Learning stuff.
I kind of am as well. But like, but the mother base, right? I feel like it's too big it's like unnecessarily big for what it actually, the purpose that it serves. Especially the zoo part of it as well. Like, you have to go to a whole separate thing just to see the zoo. And it's like, can't everything just be like there, and then you go across a little ramp, and then there's the next little R&D, and then that ramp is right there in medical instead of this.
Is it the only purpose it serves?
Yeah,
Because I think I just unlocked the animal platform.
Yeah, and you have to hop into the helicopter, and before you take off, you have to select to go to the animal.
That's how they'll do.
sanctuary.
That's how they do the forward operating bases. They're separate.
Yeah, it just seems sort of like hard to get to these things that you might want to get to really quickly, and things are really far away that I can't see the point of them being so far away.
You just went off in the distance. I usually
Yeah.
just drive my Jeep.
So when you come in, you go to the commanding base,
Mm.
and then if you wanted to go to the R&D, but
Every
Well,
time-
originally I was hopping in a Jeep and just driving to R&D.
Yeah.
And then I started using the helicopter, and then once you told me about the box thing, I started using the box. And then if you want to go to the zoo, you have to call on a helicopter, hop in the helicopter, select the sanctuary, and then go there, or whatever it is, the conservatory or conservation area. It just seems like there's all these unnecessary steps to get to something that doesn't even really matter. Because what's the point in going to the conservation area to look at the animals?
It's to look at the animals because you get there's an achievement, and also it's one of the missions to collect all the animals.
Yeah, right.
So that's just a place to kind of house them. It's more. I'd say it's more for just the people who just like exploring.
Just fun factor.
Yeah, it's fun factor. There are there's certain places like in the R&D which are very similar to the FOBs. So I guess they'd be used as training grounds. So there's some places where you can jump across and you take shortcuts to come down things, get up different levels, walk, climb up those massive pipes. So I would say that they're kind of training grounds for the online FOB systems.
It's cool. I like
From what I've seen on the trailers online.
It just seems that I would like, and maybe it's because my initial experience with it all was just utter confusion. Like, because I'm sitting here going, how do I get to see the dog? Where's the dog? Where is the dog? I don't know where it is.
Oh yeah,
And
half
I'm
the time it's not
running-
even there.
Yeah, I'm running around trying to find the motherfucker, and then it's like they said that I had the zoo, and I was like, cool, I want to go to the zoo. Where's the zoo? I seriously did about 2 or 3 different missions before I came back and finally saw that little triangle button when I was on the helicopter and went, you gotta be. That's how I get to the zoo. Like, it was just like.
Plus, you have to build it first, don't you? Like, you unlock it, but then you actually have to build a deck for it.
Yeah.
Or is this different?
I guess you have to build it. I can't remember. Or did it just appear once you had a certain amount of animals?
Who knows?
No, it gets built and it's fully funded. You don't have to pay.
That's
for
right. It just happens. And then there was another one on Mother Base where I came back and I had to go and do a mission on Mother Base where I had to go to where somebody is. And I was running around for about 20 minutes, could not find where this person was. I was going up and down, all over the place. And I had to go online and Google it because I was just getting so frustrated. Where is this? And because you could go into the side ops thing, because it was a side op, and you could select that side op so that it would put a marker there. But it wouldn't put a marker where the person was. It would just put a marker in the vicinity. And so because I'd go straight to the marker. And then it would say, you've reached your marker. But I'm like, well, where's the person?
Who are you looking for? On Mother Base?
Yeah, I was looking for Quiet.
Oh, right.
I didn't know where she was. Maybe I should have remembered because there was a cutscene that showed her where she was, but I couldn't remember.
I'm hunting her at the moment, I think. She just came up saying she's in the field, look out.
Look out.
Oh, wait, were you looking for her in the field or
At
on
Mother Base.
Oh,
On
right,
Mother Base.
okay.
It was a side op.
But
I
then
was-
you, realised that she was downstairs?
Yeah. But the way to get there isn't necessarily obvious either.
Oh, I thought it was obvious as.
Like, well, that's what I mean. Like, I guess if you remember, or if you see that stairway as you get off the helicopter, because once you go past that stairway where the helicopter pad is, you're in that zone or where the hexagon is, where it says the mission is. And so I didn't step outside the mission area to then see the stairs. And
We then go down and then underneath go into the mission area.
yeah, and that's where the problem was, and that's why I'm running around within the mission area. In front of the stairs for fucking 20 minutes. It was just so frustrating. And that's why I've just had this... It has been a little bit of a buzzkill with just a slight amount of confusion around what I'm doing at certain points.
Yeah. It's funny that you mention that because it's a different experience for me. Like I have had my troubles trying to find people, but I really don't like to be spoon fed or handheld, and I don't like really stupid tutorials. I like being able to figure it out myself, and it's just real silly things like you can share it, and it seems like a level up within yourself, not a level up in the game. It's like you can use the boxes to travel around, and you're just like
yeah. That social thing's cool.
Like and then like just different stories that I've heard from other people and their styles on like, hey, you can do this. I was like, what? Really? I'm gonna give it a go or something like that. That's what I really enjoy about this game, and I like that it's not. Or every now and again when the loading screen's coming up and it has the little tips at the bottom, and I was like, oh, you can do that, like.
Yeah, actually, I guess that's because I'm judging it based on past Metal Gear experiences, and maybe I need to not do that because it is its own thing, and it is quite a different thing.
It's very different, yeah.
Because Destiny is like that, right? Where like the new Destiny stuff, I was playing it the other day. I got no idea what I'm doing, and I've got a mate of mine who's literally holding my hand, taking me around, showing me how to do stuff because Destiny doesn't explain anything. The new area is kind of like a raid where nothing is explained.
Yeah.
Find out how to unlock this on your own. And I don't complain about that. I think that's awesome teamwork, and I guess that's the difference though, is I can jump into a fire team in Destiny and be talking with somebody as we're doing it, whereas Metal Gear is such a solo experience that finding out from you is something that happens like in this situation.
Yeah.
Not in the midst of play.
Yeah, true, and that's the pull for Destiny. That's what I really enjoy about it. That conversation of figuring out, oh hey, I found a way through here. Come on,
and the key to that chest is over here, and you have to do this in order to get the key. And you have to it's so confusing as well, but it's cool.
So you guys don't like the mother base idea thing?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you like it though?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't go back a whole lot, but there's times where you're forced to go back. Where also like Call Jip and says, the guys are starting to miss you. You need to come back.
I find things like that annoying.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like, I have to go and try and spot every guy that I've vaulted in and just try and spot them just so they can do the whole
morale increase.
Do you actually do that?
I did to start off with, but then it just got too much, and then I was just like, it doesn't really matter.
I didn't even bother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started to do that. That's another thing where you feel like the base is just too big. You're like, should I go all the way over there just to get that guy to salute me? No.
But I don't know, like, I really like building bases or building something. Like I had the feeling that I get from building the mother base as it's getting bigger and bigger is the same feeling I got when we were making my ship better in Mass Effect.
Oh yes.
Like I've got those weapons and I've got those guys, and then like we did that mission which made us have like extra shielding or something like that, and you can like visibly see the difference in your ship.
Yeah.
That's the feeling that I'm getting from doing the mother base stuff, which I'm really liking.
Yeah, it's nice because otherwise it would just be a development menu, right? Where you would develop your things or do your stuff, and it would all be done through a menu. And they basically visualized it by creating a place where you can go, and they're saying that this is where all that shit, that menu stuff you're doing, this is where it's happening if you want to see it visually. And I guess that's cool.
And what I'm really enjoying about the R&D system, about creating new weapons and stuff, like when I started off, anything that came into the box, I was like, yep, do it. Do it. Now, like, there's such a big option.
And not enough money.
Yeah, not enough money, but also what I'm liking is like, I really need this, or during a mission, I'll go to do it. Or even sending my guys out to do their own missions. I find it real, like, while I'm doing a mission, I was like, okay, I'll duck down here, tell the guys to go invade this thing, collect this base, and okay, that's done, and then continue.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really need a stronger C4. Okay, I'll just get the 18 minutes to do it. Okay, I'll go 18 minutes later.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm liking the strategic side of doing it. That I actually don't have to like, okay, each new thing it pops up, buy it. Now it's actually like, I can't do that one.
What do I need? What's most important? What'll help this mission?
Yeah. I could get this stealth camouflage, but it won't give me an S rank, so I'll just leave that off for now.
Have you got S rank often? I'm yet to get it. I got S rank in the epilogue. Prologue.
Really? Well done.
Yeah. I did as well. You didn't?
No.
Oh, wow. I thought that was so easy.
That was fucking
I
easy
wish I had, because I don't want to do it again.
That was easy.
Because it's quite long, right? Like the whole crawling along the floor thing.
We'll go on to this because this is a good topic.
Okay.
Do we have much more to say about Mother Base, or
we'll
carry on?
Okay. Move on.
Let's talk about that that prologue, that intro.
Okay.
Because I've come along talking to friends, talking to just people about it. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people find it a really interesting experience. You found it a bit confusing, didn't you? I want to know what you guys think about that opening prologue. Is it fun for you guys?
Well, yeah, it was cool. I mean, like when you're waking up and
Because it's quite confusing.
looking and
It's confusing as fuck.
yeah, and then all the shit goes down with the chick and the guy, and I don't want to give it too much away, but and then yeah, you've got to fucking.
Well, it's the
No, we
it's
said
the
spoilers.
prologue,
We said
and-
spoilers.
Oh, we said spoilers?
We said
Okay.
spoilers.
Well, yeah, and
Give
then
you a
the guy
chance.
says
Fast
he's
forward.
going to help you, and then yeah, you have to crawl for 10 hours fucking through the hospital and.
It's a long time. I dread having
And I
to
was
do
like,
that again.
yeah,
for
and every
years.
time he's like about to get up, you're like, oh, fuck, finally. And then he's like, oh,
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of
Falling again.
creating my own character because I spent a lot of time shaping that dude, making him look like me, getting really
yeah. And then
excited.
I thought I got it pretty bang on, and it's like,
Turns around,
and then he's like, oh, what?
oh, go fuck yourself.
I really
What is
like
it? Is it for the?
It must be. For the,
I
is it for
think
the
it,
VODs?
yeah,
It's
it would be for the forward
Online
operating basis.
stuff.
Not
I was
that
like,
we
what?
know, but what I really liked about that is that it was the confusion, and that whole opening for me was so confusing, but I loved it.
Yeah, you've got a theory about it.
Was
Yeah,
it-
yeah. So, huh?
Like, was there much story in it? Like, was there a lot of it that followed on from Peace Walker? Had you played it?
It
There
did,
were too
nah,
much-
not a lot. So they've definitely like given it a clean slate because
Oh, okay.
it's easier to relate to. So you don't have to have played Peace Walker. It would be cool because you'd get more of an understanding.
Carries on from Ground Zeroes. Yeah, because doesn't that?
Yes,
that's why he's
yeah,
there.
carries on from Ground Zeroes and stuff. But
Okay.
But with that opening, I just loved the confusion that you couldn't tell who was who, and like, okay, you're going to change, so that's not really Big Boss, but then it is, and you can't tell, and you still don't really know, and I really enjoyed all that. I couldn't tell if he was if it was all in his mind or was it actually happening.
Oh, with the chick and the fire.
All of that
the
stuff.
fire guy.
All
That was
of that
crazy. I
stuff.
was like, shit. You know, they have some pretty cool villains with powers, but that was a whole new shebang, man. That was
It was pretty cool.
the guy absorbs bullets and then goes.
Yeah.
But so what is your? Obviously, you might have changed your perception about the game now because you've encountered some of these things throughout as you continue to play.
Yes
But
and no.
As you did, but as just in the prologue when you're in that mindset and you were playing it, what was your theory about what was happening?
My theory. So, I picked up on small things, and it's just my opinion. I don't know if it's true or not. But
Yeah.
I was like, so I thought that the second guy that helps you out in I forgot his name now, but the guy who has his face wrapped. So
Ishmael?
Ishmael, yeah. So I don't know if you guys know the story of Moby Dick as well. That's the character, the captain who lost his leg to Moby Dick. So that story was very reminiscent to the story of Moby Dick.
Yeah.
But also there's been that story going along with there's that guy, I believe it's maybe in Russia, where he's going to be the first person to have a head transplant.
Yeah.
So that guy's face was covered, and you got to change your own face. So I got a feeling it might be a head transplant thing that may have happened.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's
Possibly.
I love it. It's a cool theory.
Also other hidden stories. Because I mentioned Moby Dick earlier, and that captain being Ishmael.
Ishmael.
So this, if you don't know Moby Dick, a lot of that story is
Spoiler.
a lot of that story is it's a book on revenge,
Yeah.
and that's what a lot of Metal Gear 5 is about.
Yeah.
And what he's taking it's the revenge because his ship got wasted by Moby Dick. He also lost a leg, lost bits of his limbs. So I can tell that the story was going in that direction, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And only, if you didn't know that stuff, and I did, I was like, oh wow, I like picked that up.
Yeah.
For me. So that's what the experience was for me. Also, the being in a coma for 9 years and finding out that you're missing an arm and you've got like rocks in your head and stuff. And in one of the cassette tapes, he mentions that rock in his head is affecting his brain. So it's like pressing up against his eye. So Big Boss may see things that you don't usually see. So I was wondering if Ishman is even real.
Yeah, like it was a figment of his imagination.
Yeah, like Fight Club.
Yeah.
It could be something like that. Because every single time he came up, he seemed to disappear, or he like jumped off like down a flight of stairs and then
And
Yeah,
then
he
he's
jumped
gone.
over and I went to look for him. I was like, what the where did he
yeah,
go?
exactly. So
This is where your theory started to ring true for me, was when you started saying that he kept disappearing. I suddenly went, that's right, the prick did keep disappearing. So it makes me wonder about who he was, and then where is he now in the game? Like I haven't encountered him since.
Yeah, he vanished.
Yeah,
He's just vanished.
That makes sense, actually. I think
And then he
was...
appears back outside in the ambulance and drives you off. Then there's the crash, and what? Is he gone again? At that point, or is he left like dead in the?
No,
I can't
in the
remember.
crash, he
just
he
vanished
disappears, and then Ocelot picks you up and you ride away on a horse.
Yeah, right off into the sunset.
And then all that stuff with like they actually had like that whale Moby Dick come out and like take out that helicopter.
Yeah.
So all that stuff was like, how was that a thing? So I definitely got the idea that it was in his head, in his mind, or something like that. But then again, you got the soldiers who are shooting the guy on fire, who's reminiscent to a past villain in Metal Gear Snake Eater.
Oh, is it? Yeah, because I looked at him, I thought, because wasn't there, I never played it really, but there was a big solid guy, wasn't there?
Yes, his name was Colonel Volgan, and he fired bullets from his, like he had electricity. Do you remember the way he died in Metal Gear Snake Eater?
I never
play Snake
No,
Eater?
I didn't play it.
Okay, so what happened is that he, in the final scene, he's got bullets wrapped around his body, and after you defeat the Metal Gear, he catches fire and he gets struck by a bolt of lightning,
Oh god.
which causes the bullets to explode and he's sitting there just getting like these bullets fired out on him. So he looks like that flaming guy on fire.
It probably is him.
And
Well,
the
the
other
thing
thing
is-
kind of looks like Psycho Mantis a little.
Yeah.
That was the first
But-
vibe I got. I mean, I played
Again,
it a
it
lot.
could because going on my theory of like it could be all in his mind. It could just be a memory. And
Yeah.
something that Psycho Mantis' character uses telepathy and
He's
like,
sort of
all that kind of
he
stuff.
levitates and
Yeah.
Got a chick.
it looks like
a
it's
chick.
is mind control sort of stuff, which looks like what that thing was doing. Which is another thing to be aware of. If there's mind control happening in there, and you're talking about his mind not being necessarily all with it, maybe
Yeah.
something else is going on.
But with it, I found that intro really tense.
Oh, it was atmospheric and beautiful. I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of Bioshock, where you just sort of get thrust into something, and it's all like it's first person in your face, and you're just like you become the character, and yeah, I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
But what was your problems with it though? Because we've talked a bit about this.
I can't remember what I said to you because I can't really remember having any.
I think you said like in terms of it being very cinematic, I felt you were like taken in and out of the experience.
Yeah, there was something I remember because we were talking to Fussy about it as well, and he said something similar. I can't remember because I sort of gone beyond it now.
Yeah.
And
I'm done with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing IGN say that it was one of the best intros they've ever seen in a video game, and then based on that, I sort of went, "Is it? I don't know."
Oh, so hyped up again.
Yeah,
for
it's
you,
one of those
yeah.
things where
Yeah.
when somebody else says something like, "This is amazing," you sort of end
Yeah.
up going,
No,
"No, it's
no,
not.
it's not that great.
it's
It's not that great.
It's just about here." No, it was definitely good because it was atmospheric as fuck, and that's what I love in any game.
I thought it was really cool to have, when they kind of had to play dead with all the, the two characters had to play dead in with all those other dead cat bodies, and then the soldiers just came up and just started shooting all of them.
Yeah.
And then they finally got up to them. One of them pisses himself, and just as they bring up boss, and then the flaming guy comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I found that really tense. Whether like how are they going to get past that? Whether Ishman was going to get killed then and there.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the scene just prior to that where they were under the green curtains.
And
before
they were
they
sneaking
crawled out,
around,
and
yeah.
you could sort of see the legs walking by, and you're just like, man, are they going to check in my room? Oh, they're checking in all the rooms, great. And you're
and
trying to
there's not much you can do about it.
And you can
'Cause
see the
they
other
had
guy and he's hiding.
No, there were guys on the beds,
yeah.
and they were just coming up and they were just like killing them all, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nah, that was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Great intro. What would you give the intro? 10 out of 10?
No.
Pretty good though.
It was pretty good. I'd give it at least an 8.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna give it 10.
Yeah, but you're going to give the whole thing a 10.
Yeah,
the whole
no,
way
but
through.
no. But
10.
but the experience for me was different. Like everybody's gonna have a different experience, but like I just know the backstory, and
Yeah,
I'm a
it
massive
sounds
fan
like-
of Metal Gear, and like I think I delved into it more.
You found a lot in there, which
Yeah,
is great.
yeah. So there's
Yeah.
like because a lot of the games do that. They do those things in the background. And it's like, oh, I see. Like, and I picked up on a lot of that, and I felt for me it was a very emotional. Like, is this even real? Is this even going on? This is the story of Moby Dick, and I see where this is going.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I just, and I think I'm just because I'm quite seasoned to the Metal Gear series. I wouldn't say I picked up everything, but there was a lot that I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Very
You've
cool.
played every single one.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, so with this game and going on from that, what is your favourite experience thus far? Because the whole game is trying to promote open world stealth gameplay that sort of delivers random, amazing moments, right? That just sort of happen, that aren't scripted.
Yeah.
So, have you had unscripted moments of genius?
Yeah, I've had tons that I've managed to pull off, but what I've really enjoyed with the game is because a lot of the games, a lot of the Metal Gear games are very linear. They're just very, they kind of pave the way. It's not very open world. This one is very open world, and I'm finding that I'm actually like plotting points on where to go, and I'm being more strategic, and which is, I guess, making the experience better for me. Like I can actually plan where I want to go, and if I have to go back to that place, I was like, okay, I did that last time. How about I go this way and give it a shot? I've had so many experiences. I can't remember a lot of them, but just real stupid things where I've taken the opportunity when it's come up, or okay, I guess I'll just say one. I had a tank drive past me, and I only had a second for it to come past, and I managed to go prone, get out my C4, roll to the side of the road, and as it passed me, flick a C4 on it and roll back. And then as it took off, I could
I can't believe you did that. He's already told me this story. I was like,
that was complete. Like I didn't even think about it, which I really enjoyed. I was like, I didn't miss the opportunity. And I was like, oh man, it would be really cool if I put a C4 there. I was just like, then managed to pull it off. And that's only one experience that I've had. I've had heaps of others. I've had to take out a convoy of 2 tanks, and there was a guy in a middle truck that I needed to Fulton. And so I knocked out a guy, tranquilized him, put him in the middle of the road, came back, hid in some grass, and the convoy stopped because there was a guy on the road. Yeah. And while they were doing that, I came up behind the last tank and put C4 on him. And then I quickly ran out, and while they were waking that dude up, earlier I'd found out that there was a anti-tank tank in the distance. So I managed to grab that, drive it off, fire the C4 that took out the last tank, so then they just started to gap it because they were under attack. And as the road came past, I managed to blow up the next tank who was leading the convoy in the anti-tank that I had. And then as the guy that I needed was in the truck, tried to drive around it, I managed to drive up behind him, switch to a machine gun, shot the truck. He jumped out, and then the truck exploded and tried to run away, and all I had to do was catch him, vault him out.
Nice.
And that was all unscripted. It was just like...
Yeah, just the way you chose to do it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, maybe if I do this and try this out, and this may work. And it did. I couldn't believe it.
That's pretty awesome. Because I did that exact same mission in a very different way.
Yeah. And that's what I'm liking about Metal Gear, is that everybody has their own style and way of doing things. I haven't... The only times that I've killed people has been accidentally like running them over or something like that. Or
well, yeah,
I've gone to put them down and then like they've glitched over an edge and fallen off or something.
I tried to do the whole game like you tried to do the whole game stealth, obviously. Well, you should.
I don't.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Let's throw this killer over here, and what? Just assault? You just run in with a machine gun.
I'm sneaky to a point, but I'll get my sniper rifle and I'll pick guys off if I can. Otherwise, I will sneak a bit, but yeah, I don't hesitate to kill people.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. As soon as I unlocked the silenced sniper rifle, I was like, thank you. Boom. Got there. Yeah. Next mission, S rank straight away. It was like, this is my weapon of choice, and I can do this easily now. But before that, though, everything was all about getting them to go to sleep, tranking everyone.
I've only got enough ammo for that shit, and I can't be bothered doing supply drops.
Oh, yeah. But I eventually got annoyed because of what you were saying earlier about how you go around, because it's a stealth game, right? So you're taking your time. You're like, ding, 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 ding. And then as you get through the mission, suddenly there's people going, oh man, I got taken out by someone. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. A line of guys behind you slowly waking up, and you're like, this is bullshit. Like, I literally have to Fulton these guys out.
Yeah, and that's been a strategy that I've been doing.
I just don't like that I'm forced to Fulton them or forced to kill them. I can't just leave them because they just don't sleep long enough.
They wouldn't go on alert though. They'd just be like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, they wake up. No, they do say, "I've been taken out. There is enemy here. Go on alert." But it's not like
Because you lose.
it's not a combat alert though. Like when that happened to me and I beat the mission, I still got an S rank, and it said there were no combat alerts. But there was obviously an alert of some description.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the difference was between those alerts. Because if they say I've been taken out, the enemy is here, go on alert.
Oh no, that's if you grab them and they know that
They've
like,
actually
if
seen
or
you.
if they've seen you and you have the reflex come up, and if you take them out, then so that goes into an alert. There's an enemy here.
And that's
But
the
if you've
combat
taken
alert.
them out without them seeing you, they're just like
And then they wake up.
and they wake up.
There's no evidence that you were there.
So there was like, I think I've been taken out.
And
Stay alert.
they go raise they just say keep your eyes out or a higher alert of
How
some
long does
description.
it take for them to wake up? Because
Well,
obviously,
it's depending on what
obviously
you
this
do.
is a timed game now. There's a real cycle, so obviously they have to wake up at some point. It's not just for the mission; they're asleep.
Yeah, it's only it's not very long,
No, it isn't.
and you they actually, if you knock them out, that keeps them down longer.
A CQC.
CQC.
Yeah. Oh, then a trank.
Yeah. So knocking them out or stunning them with your boss arm, that actually takes them out for a longer amount of time. But obviously you're risking because that's close to combat. Yeah.
And it's going to create more noise, more likely.
Yeah.
Like if you CQC when there's two people, that guy's definitely going to hear it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you can do a headshot, and chances are he may not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of different experiences, another one just came to mind, and I've told you before, is that I went to hold up a guy, put his hands up, and then the options to interrogate him didn't come up. And I was like, what the fuck is he doing? And then he put his hands down, and then he grabbed a knife out of his breast pocket and then like stabbed me with it, which knocked me over. And I was like, oh fuck, I didn't know you could do that. And then he went to go grab his radio to call for backup, but the CQC button was still appearing. So when I pressed it, he grabbed his leg and then like tripped him over, and he fell back. And then I put my gun to him, and he did the whole like puts his hands on the back of his head, and I was like, you son of a bitch. And then I could interrogate him. I thought that was really cool, and it was like,
awesome.
boom, and he was like, I need it. And I was like, oh, that was awesome. But I'm definitely having those moments where no one's around. I'm like,
did you see that? Share.
yeah, exactly. I have been sharing them. I've
Actually, shared a single thing.
yeah, well,
I didn't even think about it.
no, because I'm just enjoying the game. I don't want to feel pressured on putting stuff on
Online,
online or anything like that, because I'm just enjoying the experience.
Well, what about you? Have you had any cool, amazing experiences? Random, unscripted sort of?
Not really.
No?
Not
I'm
yet
kind of the same.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's right.
I mean, I've had some sort of cool stuff. Like, I think it was a mission where I had to rescue a specialist of some kind, and it was in like a fort sort of prison. And I was sneaking my way through the rooms in the perimeter, sleeping guys, knocking them out, and then I had to get 2 prisoners out. And I literally, in the middle of daylight, just walked them out on my shoulder, dropped them on the stairs outside the door, and faulted them. And then no one saw.
Yeah.
And then there was 3 guys at the exit, and I saw a jeep there. I was like, oh fuck it, I'm going to call in an artillery strike on the entranceway. And it killed every single guy there. Picked the last guy up, chucked him on the back of the jeep, and just drove out.
Nice.
And no one was any the wiser. There was a couple of guys up in the towers. And
Dum-de-doo, what was that massive
I was just like,
explosion?
yeah.
Well, yeah, because you're such a hard assault sort of player. Like, I haven't even used the airstrike.
Really?
Yeah, not even.
I haven't called in chopper support yet, but I called in an artillery bombardment. But yeah, I'll see like an outpost and be like, oh fuck, I'm gonna take them out. So I'll sneak up and I'll with my silenced gun, I'll pop the last 2 guys, and then the other guy will turn around and how he goes into reflex mode. I won't even shoot him. I'll charge him and go.
All right, yeah. Just take them. Oh, you saw me? Fine, you're getting the fist.
Yeah.
Hammer time.
Yeah.
But I cleared the whole room doing that first thing. I didn't even know you could do that.
Switch to stun arm. And
Yeah. Oh no, not even the. Oh yeah, the.
Not the.
You to the stun arm, and he does the.
He just uses it. Just goes.
The cyborg punch. Have you done that?
Yeah, no. I haven't used the arm.
If you sprint and then use, I think it is a CQC, but I don't know. If you're sprinting towards them,
you need to have the arm equipped as your secondary because you can equip it.
yeah, and it does the what's that old that old sound with the cyborg guy? What's that old
Cyborg.
we
From
can
like
rebuild him. The $6,000 man or $1 million man.
Oh, right.
So it does that. Whenever he did something like robotic, it did that.
Oh,
You know
really?
that sound? So it does that.
Yeah, it does.
So whenever you do it, so I managed to I was sprinting towards somebody because I got discovered, and I was like, oh fuck, sprinted towards somebody, and then I pressed the CQC button because I wanted to grab them, and he just like leveled them and knocks them out right away, and then another guy comes out the door, he's like, oh, what was that? And I was like, boom! Another guy goes up, the like, boom! And all these guys just got knocked out, and I was like, I cleared the base.
So is that the move where you're linking your CQC?
No, it's not. It's not the linking.
It's but really like he just charges them and
he just charges them and knocks them out.
Nice.
I saw an awesome video online of like Snake just running and a zebra ran past him and he punched the zebra and knocked it out.
God, oh my god, the first thing I did, I've told you this, the first thing I did in the game, which was so fucking hilarious, was I pressed the wrong button to get on my horse and I tackled the horse. Because you know how you can do the dive? On the ground, I did the dive, pressed the dive button, and I just went flying into the horse. Horse goes down. I'm just like, and because I didn't know that I'd done the dive, I just pressed the button. So I thought I seriously had tackled the horse. I was like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Oh no!
I've done one where I've CQC'd a guy and I've threw him in, like supposed to be into the wall, but I had D-Dog next to me.
Oh yeah.
And I threw him into the wall, and then he fell onto D-Dog and knocked them both out. Yeah. And I was like, okay. Damn it.
Whoops. Yeah, I've pulled a guy out of a tower, thrown him down, and you hear this, and you look down, and you landed on the fucking dog, and you're like, oh man. Dog's knocked out, he's on the ground. That shit's funny, man. Yeah, I keep losing, what is it? Decrease my relationship? Is it called relationship with D-Dog, because he just keeps getting hit by shit. That's apparently my fault. I'll be like trying to drive out of there in a tank or something, and I'll hit a rock, and then back up. Dog's behind me.
Alright, okay. So these are good topics then. Like being in an open world game, there's a lot of glitches in it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of glitches in the game.
Because anything can happen. Anything can go wrong.
Any.
Yeah.
Yet.
What have you experienced some glitches?
Oh no! Just small things. Like if I'm trying to like climb up something and it just won't let me, so I have to like get the right angle. So it's
the worst thing is when he slides down rock faces when you're trying to run up them.
Yeah.
And you'll climb up, and then he'll slide back down, even though it's giving you the prompt that you could climb over it.
Yeah.
So there's those kind of well, not massive glitches. I haven't had anything where like I've like jumped through a rock and somebody's just been like
yeah,
or any of that kind of stuff. But just small. These come with open world games anyway, don't they? Like I've been in a Jeep and then all of a sudden it did the whole cliff face thing. I didn't see the cliff coming up.
Yeah.
And then I was like, car just went gish, and I fell through the front and did the classic Jurassic Park thing where I had to kind of quickly run away as it like tipped forward. Like.
You have the best experiences. I never get these moments. I want to do the Jurassic Park moment.
Yeah, but like there was no damage that happened to the car. It honestly just went gush, and then like I fell out through the driver's seat, just hit there, and then it just went like forward, and I had to. I was like,
that's awesome. Yeah, glitches. I haven't really had any.
I've watched.
Oh, there's that one. There's the game breaking glitch for your save. Where you, if you use quiet on mission 19 or is that right? In 42?
I think it's 2942. 2342.
Yeah, so okay, well you look it up because if you're playing the game and you haven't even heard about this, if you unlock quiet and then you use her on these two specific missions, it can corrupt your save file and fuck up everything you've been doing.
You get no more progression.
Not sure if that's on PC though. Is it?
I don't know. It's definitely all the consoles.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about
that's
PC.
A pretty big glitch. That's freaking huge.
It's good that they tell you. Do you know about this? No? Has it been fixed? Do you know?
No, I don't know that it's been fixed. I only found out about it just recently. Luckily, I haven't done mission 19 yet, if it is 19, or beyond that.
I've had one where I've like been watching guys in conversations, and there was like they'd have a prisoner, and he goes to hit them, but he's like too far away. And he's like, shut up! And then he's like probably like at the end of the couch, and just like. I've had small things like that, but do you know what? I'm quite forgiving for that kind of stuff because it's an open world game.
Yeah. You gotta.
You always have that. I think for massive games like this, you're always going to have those smaller glitches.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of a bit more forgiving. Then saying that though, a lot of people saying that that this game is like a 10 out of 10, but there's obvious problems with it.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you guys.
It doesn't seem anybody's bringing it up. Like the online stuff has been really hard and crashed a lot. I don't know about you guys, but mine seems to be crashing all the time. It's not affecting my experience.
Yeah, well, you do.
You're playing the game and it comes up saying server down.
Yeah.
I think I've had that happen once.
But
I've never been able to connect.
Yeah,
At all. Yeah, no, it's always been a problem for me.
Oh,
right. I can.
What do you get? What's the benefit?
No, it's just more kind of. I
think it
would
was
say
leaderboards type stuff.
Yeah, kind of. That's what it would be.
Okay.
And also if you're online, obviously, while you're doing the mission, somebody could invade your FOB.
Yeah,
forward
right.
operating
So
base,
if I don't get mine sorted, I won't be able to do that.
I'm not. It's
It
a
could be
choice.
because I'm down in the bedroom and I think that my Wi-Fi's a bit shit. New Zealand problems. West Auckland problems. Okay, so on that note, yeah, because I do actually want to know, because the game has received a 10 from GameSpot, it's received a 10 from IGN.
Yep.
I would like to know if you guys, based on the experiences you've had with the game so far, do you think it lives up to it? Do you think it is a 10, or has the potential to be a 10 once you continue to play?
Yeah. I think you guys know my answer, but I want to hear you guys, because I've got a good reason for it, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
From what I've played so far, I'd probably give it an 8 so far. 8.5.
8.5.
And it could build itself up to a 10 if I start finding more features of the game out and using them, and because I haven't unlocked the full experience yet with the FOBs and all that stuff and the D-Dog and
Oh yeah, totally. You're missing out on quite.
So
a
you're
few
just
things.
going on your experience at the moment, is it?
so far.
Yeah. There was one thing, I don't necessarily want to say it because I don't want to spoil it for you, but I would happily spoil it for you guys. No, but there was one thing that certainly changed my mind that happened. I told you when you remember?
No.
Oh, we can talk about it later.
All right.
But and that changed my experience. I was thinking, is this sort of all there is? And then something happened, and I was like,
okay,
oh, okay, that's fucking awesome. Totally did not see that coming, and that really changed my perspective. Still didn't take it up to a 10 for me necessarily. I think it's like a 9.5. Like, I think it's a fucking great game. And I had I wrote down some stuff about it because I wanted to be able to clarify this, because is it a masterpiece? I don't really like, because if but going on the IGN scale, they give something a 10 out of 10 because it's a masterpiece. And I just don't feel like I'd give it a 10 out of 10 in the same way that I wouldn't have given Tomb Raider a 10 out of 10. Skyrim, Mass Effect, Halo 4, Uncharted, the entire series, like, they're all amazing games that I kind of believe are masterpieces. But they've all got little problems. They've all got their thing. And I certainly wouldn't give any of those individually a 10. And I feel Metal Gear's the same. It fits in that category. It's an amazing game, a must-have. Definitely play it. Definitely have it in your collection. But is it a 10? I kind of feel...
In your opinion, no.
I kind of feel no. Because I wouldn't hold it above those other games I just listed, I wouldn't hold it above those games. So therefore, it can't be. Based on that logic,
Cool. I'm just going to say, it is a 10.
Yep.
Reason being, I think it is a masterpiece, and like every game, we've gone over 10 out of 10 in past podcasts, but I just think it's the right direction. It's something that's taken a risk, and for me as a Metal Gear fan, it's all new for me because the past games aren't like this. Although they have elements of the past Metal Gear games, it's a different experience, and I wanted, I guess, something new. I wanted to be able to jump into vehicles. I really wanted to jump into a helicopter and fly it in a Metal Gear game. You don't do it, but
No.
but I was like, oh wow, you can get into vehicles. Like, it's just a whole new field. And I think in terms of gaming, it's a step in a different direction. Because the game is massive, not as huge as Witcher 3, but like huge enough for me.
Yeah.
And whether you want to go to do the mother base thing, if you just want to just do the missions, it's completely up to you and your style. And we talked about our different styles of playing, with you just going in guns blazing, I'm putting people to sleep, and you have your own style as well.
I'm more like the Panther.
The Panther.
You're the ghost, like in the Splinter Cell reference. You'd be the ghost, I'd be the Panther, and you'd be the, I don't know, the assault guy, whatever it is. He's like
Renegade for life.
Hard out.
But I think the game is actually purely on your choice and style of playing. Where there's other games that you have a choice, but really it's just one or two.
Yeah.
Mass Effect is either good or bad.
Yeah.
But I think that Metal Gear: The Phantom Pain actually has your choice in mind. Not in the story, but in terms of its gameplay. It's got very strong game mechanics, and I'm about the game mechanics.
Yeah, totally.
There's so much stuff you can do, and just some of the stories that I put forward were my choices, and I managed to pull them off. I wouldn't say I've done that all the time. Like I've had massive fails.
Yeah.
And I find that I've been losing patience in terms of like, this is taking too long. I'll just reset the mission.
Yeah. But that's classic with stealth games, eh? You do take ages.
Yeah,
to do
but
certain
I've been
things.
really trying to play the game with like, I got discovered, my fault. How do I get out of this? And I've
Yeah.
tried to continue playing, but there have been missions where I'm like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
Reset.
Have you died yet?
Hmm?
you
Yeah,
been killed?
definitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
definitely. Yeah. So a lot of it has been trial and error, but I've really tried. It's really easy to quit the game and start it again. It's even harder to keep doing it. I think I've been discovered. Oh shit! How do I get out of this situation? And now it's changed the whole level for me. Now that I've been discovered, there's like 2-3 times more guys in this place where I have to fault in that guy directly in the middle. How do I do it now? Where if I didn't get discovered before.
Yeah, I think I fail in that I don't change my tactics. Like, I'm trying to stealth my way through, and then shit goes wrong, and I'm just like, fuck!
Yeah.
And I'm still wanting to beat it by tranking the rest of the guys, whereas actually I need to just go, that's not going to happen now. Change the weapon to the assault weapon and save your life.
Yeah.
But my mindset doesn't change like that. I try to run or hide, and then I end up just going, restart mission.
I don't think I ever reset once.
Yeah, well,
Like-
that's because, and you're probably quite affluent with all the assault weapons, so you're not really.
Yeah, I mean, I think a cool thing, like when you fight those heavy infantry guys for the first time at that outpost, and there's just 2 of them, and they're wearing full body
Oh
armor.
yeah, right. You didn't sneak up on them.
No,
I love it.
You just took him on.
I threw smoke grenades at them, and they stood there going,
Yeah.
and I just ran straight at them and just went, yep.
Yeah. Oh wow.
But that's what it offers.
Yeah,
that's
that's
the nice thing.
and that's why I would give it a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, because I don't think the 10 out of 10 shouldn't be unreachable.
No,
But I
definitely
also
shouldn't.
think you should be careful of hype, because I think that definitely affects you.
Yeah.
So when everybody says it's a 10, and you'll be like, it's not a 10 in your mind. For me, I think it is like the step in the right direction for gaming, which I think deserves a masterpiece 10 out of 10 for this time. There's going to be other games, and you play this game in like 20 years' time, you're going to be like, what the fuck, this is a 10 out of 10?
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, you know, it can only ever be judged within the
Yeah.
its time. Is
Yeah.
this the first open world stealth game? I'm just trying to think.
I am not
Wasn't one of
sure.
the Splinter Cells recently
No.
sort of open world?
No, Splinter Cell's never gone open world.
Not
They're always
Blacklist?
level based.
Oh, okay.
Even Blacklist.
Probably not then.
I think this is the first one.
Yeah, probably.
And I think that's what I love the most about it, because I love open world games. You know, I love Skyrims and GTAs and stuff like that. And stealth is actually my favourite genre, Splinter Cell being my favourite game. And this blends both of those together, and it really does it so well. I think that's my favourite thing about the game.
Yeah.
Is there anything you don't like, though? You know, because you can still hold a 10 out of 10 judgment on it.
Yeah, definitely.
And be critical.
What I'm not liking about it is because the games were all very cinematic and they had these long ass cutscenes, and now they've changed it up and not had so much cutscenes. It's more about the game mechanics, which is cool. But like I find it when a cutscene pops up, they're really short, and I find that there hasn't been like that Metal Gear moment, I guess. Like a lot of them have like a lot of twists and turns and backstabs, and like your mind starts blowing and like, oh really, it was him the whole time. It's very, very not as incest as Game of Thrones, but that like cliffhanger kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't come across that yet
And
in
I
Metal
don't
Gear
know
5.
if you will.
I don't think I will. But in terms of knowing its history, and I know that it's this Metal Gear 5 has a very watch the hero become the villain, that Batman kind of vibe to it, because that's what Big Boss is, and I know that. So I know that it's his turn to become the villain before Solid Snake hits the scene.
Right, yeah.
So I'm interested in that journey. But there's still, because I haven't completed the game, I've spent like, I think I've gone like maybe 30, 40 hours, and I'm only 30% in terms of its completion, maybe
Right.
39. But yeah, I guess for me, what I'm not liking is the story element of it.
Yeah. It's
It's
hard.
not a story heavy, but I do enjoy the cutscenes when it comes up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to implement that sort of stuff, like the old Metal Gear style of storytelling and cinematics and stuff, into an open world setting, and and the mechanics that they've created with this game. I can see that that's why it's kind of suffered in its story, because it's just so tricky to do. But I think the main problem is, and it's one of my critiques on the game, is that I think he tried to. I think he decided he was going to change and evolve the gameplay to be open world and to be all this new stuff, but tried to stay in the same sort of storytelling. You can see it in the episodic nature of it, how whenever you do a mission, it sort of cuts to this weird sort of opening thing with credits and directed by Hideo Kojima and stuff like that. And it just feels really sort of juxtaposed to the gameplay, because you're in an open world thing. It feels like the whole thing should be open. So why break it up into little story bites?
Yeah, because it comes up saying, created, directed, level design, blah, 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 and then it's literally just blow up these vehicles, a rocket launcher, call the chopper and leave.
Yeah.
And seems odd to have taken you out of the moment, out of the world, to do this weird little thing, and then sort of thrust you back in again.
That's very Peace Walker.
Yeah, that's
Peace
what I
Walker
mean.
being a PSP game and stuff, and all of it was like kind of episodic levels, because it's a handheld game, Peace Walker I'm talking about, and it worked really well. So you didn't have to invest in this massive ass story and then like you play a different game, come back. Like it was kind of made to be that kind of broken up
bite-sized
style, bite-sized kind of thing. But that's with Peace Walker, and it works with a PSP game. This is kind of different, but I do like it. I do like that it's an episode, and then I can opt out.
It does have that feeling of like a book where I'll just finish this chapter and then I can put the book down, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the credits though, because I don't like seeing the enemies I'm going to face, especially when it says
Oh
skulls.
yes, yeah. You know who you're coming across.
I'm like, why would I want to know this? Because there's been a couple of missions where the skulls surprise you within the mission, but do they? I knew they were fucking coming. That annoys me. I think
that annoys
that's
me
an
too.
oversight, I think.
And it was like when there was a mission where it said the skulls are I guess characters in this or whatever, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't prep for this shit. Like, I was like, you can't put those guys to sleep. Oh, no, you can.
But then, so you could metagame the whole thing, so you then arrive knowing who you're going to face and go, okay, Fulton in supply drop for the rocket launcher and blah, 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 whatever. And it's like, hang on a minute, you didn't know you were going to face those guys in the grand scheme of things. It would have been more fun for you to have encountered it naturally and then had to deal with it. I don't know. I think that's worth noting. And that's one of the only real critiques I had. Because, I mean, they have sort of said in the IGN review and stuff that the story was where it was at its weakest, the game as a whole. And I think that's kind of where it is at. That episodic thing, to me, doesn't really work. But other than that, I still commend them on doing open world stealth.
Anything you don't like about the game? Or because you're still in the beginning.
I'm still in the beginning.
It's hard.
I mean, I don't like that you can't airlift to places in the open world.
Yes, you're right.
Fucking
Yeah,
annoying.
Yes.
Like every time I'm like, I've done this side up. There's one
On the other end of the map.
It's like 3,000 meters. I'm like, yeah, I could call in a horse. I could try and find a truck and just drive there, because I haven't discovered the box thing yet. Well, I have now, but I won't have the location unlocked anyway. And it's like I could quite easily just get airlifted over those hills.
Yeah.
But no, I have to go back into the aerial command center and then redeploy. Which is kind of...
And it takes you out of it.
Yeah, it's immersion breaking.
Yeah. And it seems like a lost opportunity. I was thinking about that. Like, wouldn't it have been great to have sat in the helicopter and actually
go to a different
gone to a different area? You could have used the Gatling gun. You could have... And if you could command the helicopter to, say, circle a base, and then you can shoot dudes from the helicopter.
I'm finding the helicopter, entrance and exit really atmospheric and cool.
Yeah.
But then...
But if it's only to take you out of the immersion of it all, back to the ACC or whatever.
Yeah, as cool as the sort of cockpit headquarters thing is, yeah, it would be nice to be able to just ride at right on the side of the chopper and just
Yeah, there should be an option when you hop in the chopper to just quickly select your
like
next
it
location.
does at home base,
yeah.
because you sit there and it goes push A to on the PC. All the control prompts are in controller, not on keyboard.
That's
I
odd.
don't know why.
So you have to press a controller
So
button.
yeah, like when I want to jump across a small gap, it will say left stick forward plus A.
Oh, not like.
not W and
Interesting. So he's totally just designed it for the console experience.
because it's ported. It's not actually made on it's not made for PC.
Oh, it isn't on
It's-
PC.
no,
You've got some weird port.
It's ported,
It's
It's a
professional.
console. It's a console port to PC.
Oh right.
and it's done very well. But it's either
But
an
it's
oversight
professional,
or
right? It's like you're buying the game. You're getting a PC case with the game.
Yeah.
It just seems odd that they.
But it's been made for consoles.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I bought it on Steam for $70, $75. Yeah.
That's interesting though.
Yeah, it was weird, but you sit in the chopper and it goes push that, and then you can quickly select what platform you want to go to. I just don't know how that wasn't implemented for Afghanistan. It's weird.
Yeah, it is a bit. It just seems like a lost opportunity. I wonder if they could patch something. There is online is coming, right? Because there's a patch. It's kind of like the GTA thing where they released the game first, allowed you to experience the story and the mechanics and everything, and then there's an online thing that comes a little bit later, which offers more.
I'm hoping it'll get implemented.
It's not out yet.
Yeah, the online,
right.
the actual, there's like a multiplayer, like.
Oh no, I know about it, but I just thought it was kind of like you have to complete the campaign before it unlocks. So.
Yeah, sorry, no, I was looking up online, and yeah, it's going to be released very soon, eh? It's like a month or so.
I skip all that stuff at the start where it tells you updates.
Yeah.
I just
You just want to get
hit
your machine gun
spacebar.
and go gunning.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm looking forward to the online thing because it's like having the online battles. It's a very tactical game. You'd have to have that. Okay, I've got on the left, taking this guy out here, or and they used to have an online component in Metal Gear 4 Guns of the Patriots, and it was very hard because of the Metal Gear Online.
Yeah.
And obviously, another player is a lot smarter than an AI.
Yeah, totally.
So if you can best somebody online in Metal Gear fashion, that's an achievement in itself, I think. Just quickly, just a story. When I was playing Metal Gear 4 Guns of the Patriots, I managed to I was playing an online match, and I managed to grab a guy and use him as a human shield. And the second guy who saw me, put his gun up, but didn't want to shoot his teammate.
Is there a negative penalty for shooting your teammate?
Yeah. So all that kind of stuff. So I managed to grab the guy, use him as a human shield, and the guy didn't know what to do. He managed to grab my trank gun, shoot him a headshot, and then choke the guy that I was with. And you get more points for putting people to sleep than would you to kill someone.
Yeah.
So that was Guns of the Patriots.
You can do that in this one as well now. The new.
But because I haven't done that online, that's the kind of stuff
online,
I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that was against real.
Yeah,
people.
those are real
That's
people.
pretty cool to have done that.
So yeah, a guy. There were two guys. I was around like a box strut or something like that, and they both tried to cut me off. And I knew one was going to cut me off. Grabbed one, and I knew the other guy was running around the other side, and I used him as a shield.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Fuck!" And I was like,
Yeah.
so those things were cool to pull off.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to in Metal Gear 5. That kind of. Because to best a player is way better than
totally.
AI. You just think AI is stupid. You could be standing right in front of them and be like, "Huh, what was that?"
Yeah. What was that noise? It's going to be cool when it comes out. It'll add a new feature to the game. Hopefully, I'm not playing Halo 4 and Fallout 4. Not Halo 5 and Fallout 4. When it comes out.
I just pre-ordered that off Mighty Ape.
Yeah.
The with the book.
Which was Fallout?
Fallout 4. Yeah.
Awesome. It's a great game,
Yeah.
and obviously we love it. Like you're a 10 on some 9.5. Well, I'm definitely up in the upper. I think it's
upper
amazing.
echelon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, once you've played it a bit more, you'll probably fall in love with it a bit more, and your score will creep up a little as well. I would imagine.
And it's definitely changed people's opinions. I got a Facebook message from a friend of ours, Fuzzy. And at first he was like, "Oh, this game isn't that great." And he's like, "Bro, this game is cool." And it was because of his unscripted moments. He similar stories that we're busy saying. He's managed to pull off certain things, and that's cool. I think.
Yeah, and the more that happens, the more I think it'll just because those things you're complaining about will just get outweighed.
Yeah.
I think there's more to love than there is to hate. That's for sure.
Exactly. So definitely on your own opinion and your own style. So if it doesn't matter what those are, it's a good game, and you should fucking go get it.
Oh yeah, definitely must have. If it's not in your collection, you're missing out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that about wraps up our Metal Gear segment. Thanks for tuning in. You can catch us on Facebook, and we're also on Twitter and YouTube. And thanks for supporting us. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yep.